Becoming a successful trader takes a lot of time and work. Many people come into the space, they have failures early on, and they don't know how to get through them. And a lot of the times when they have those early failures, they quit because they don't know what to do. In this video, I'm going to talk about my 5 tips that I think every trader needs to constantly remind themselves, and the 5 things that I truly believe are what is going to make a profitable trader and a successful trader versus a non-profitable trader. So let's get into it. Number 1, always know what you are looking for every time that you come into the market. A lot of early traders in their early careers, when they're just starting to figure out how they want to trade, their strategy, they come into every single day looking for something new. They don't have a solidified edge. They don't know what they're looking for. Case of that, every time they come into the market, they're always taking new setups and never ending up building confidence with those setups. The number 1 thing that you need to be focused on in trading is building conviction and confidence with your model. Pick one thing and focus on it. Every single time that you come into the market, always look for that setup, see if it works, see if it doesn't work, what market conditions are they working in, what market conditions are they not working in, and use those experiences to solidify your own strategy. Do not come into every single day looking for something new, trying to catch opportunity. Don't be in the mindset of just wanting to catch any move. You need to be in the mindset of only catching what you are confident in, not in what the market is given, only what you are confident in. And when you solidify that idea and you come into the market and only trade your confident edge, you're going to have more confidence, you're going to be less anxious, less stressful when you see those setups, and overall just more successful as a trader. Number 2, you have to be focused mentally and psychologically on the right things with your goals. People that are already a year, 2 years into their trading, but they're not successful yet, what's holding them back is the psychological aspect that they tell themselves. When you set your goals to either get funded, get a payout, make money, catch big moves in the market, on an outside perspective, yes, those are things that you want. But when you constantly tell your brain and you want the idea of something like that, bad habits start to form off of those ideas. If I am focused on getting a payout or I am focused on getting paid, psychologically, I will be looking for more opportunity. Even not good opportunity, more opportunity. When I come into the market, I'm constantly looking for things that might not be there, taking more risk on my trades when I shouldn't be, not focused on practicing good risk management. I'm only focused on getting big moves. I'm not focused on what the market's actually showing me. I'm focused on, again, making money, getting a payout. You might not recognize that these things are happening when you are telling yourself these things or when you're setting your goals, but the more that you do these things, it constantly builds bad habits and sets a barrier for you. And all of the time, most of the time I see with traders is they end up building such bad habits over time that they might experience just a little bit of success, but all it takes is 1 week, 2 weeks for all of that success to go down the drain. How many of you guys have had, a point in their career when they finally think they're reaching that, that barrier to get past to become successful, and all it takes is maybe a couple days, a week, just to get reset all of those steps that you took in the last month? It is because psychologically you haven't been focused on the right things. You've been focused on making money, and in return has been building bad habits. So this is what I recommend. Every single day you come into the market, you need to be focused on building good habits. That means I'm focused on building conviction with my edge. I'm not focused on making money. I'm focused on good risk to reward. I'm focused on proper position sizing. When you come into the market and only focus on those things, not making money, you start to program your brain to become the best trader you can possibly be. You become less anxious. You become more confident with your strategy. When things start to arise, you know how to act, you know how to behave, and you're not just letting yourself act on emotion. So every time you come into the market, focus on building good habits, not making money. Number 3, always focus on learning how to read market conditions. One thing that I think holds a lot of traders back is they don't know how to recognize market conditions, and they don't know how to act based off of those conditions. A lot of the times people will have, a good month where markets are either in a bull run, bear run, maybe we're consolidating. Depending on your strategy, there will always be a time in the market where your strategy seems like it doesn't work as much as it will another time. Your goal needs to be recognizing those conditions. As traders, we are constantly learning, constantly adapting to market conditions, and using new data to infiltrate our ideas and figure out how we can use that data to change the way we trade and to adapt to those market market conditions. If you fail to do that, a lot of the times you will be left to rot. You're going to be trading the same way that you normally would trade and end up getting hurt by the market, and you're failing to recognize the conditions. So I focus, and I highly recommend to focus on when your strategy works, when it doesn't work. What's the reasoning for that? Notice, is it Newsweek, High Impact, FOMC, CPI, NFP week? Notice these things and start to journal and figure out what the problems are. What conditions does your strategy work the best? What conditions does it not work the best? And solidify that. Knowing that information, trade on the days where it works the best, trade on the times where it doesn't work the best. Figure out which one you should trade and stick to only that. Number 4. Always focus on learning to recognize your emotion and controlling it. A lot of problems with new traders and just everyday traders in general who have been in the space, even myself sometimes, there are times when we start to get emotional. Whether that be coming into a day, taking a losing trade in the morning and then wanting to revenge trade, make that money back. Every single time when you start to feel emotional, you have to train yourself to recognize those emotions and then figure out what the plan is to do when that happens. For myself, a lot of the times I've recognized when I start to get emotional. It doesn't happen as much as it used to do when I was a trader or when I was early in my career. But now I've started to, become a lot less emotional, more calm, less stressful. And my recommendation to you is when you start feeling stressful, when you start feeling emotional, when you want to revenge trade, when you want to, up your size, always you have to have the discipline and self-control to step away. A lot of traders do not know when to step away, and in return, they end up digging a hole for themselves or blowing up their entire account. There's a lot of times in periods where people will take a loss, they'll take another loss, and at that point in time, they say to themselves, I'm not going to end the day green, or I'm not going to end the day red. They're going to keep trading until they either blow their account or they're back green. And I guarantee you, I used to be the same when I was my first 6 months into trading. I would trade so much on tilt where I would take a trade, take a loss, take another one, take another loss. And at that point in time, I would just continue to enter, exit. And I just didn't even know what I was doing. And by the time my account ends up blowing up, I'm sitting in my chair and I say, Justin, what the fuck did you just do? And it takes all of that moment for you to finally get to a point of realization and where your head's not in the clouds and you have reality where you're like, the last 10 minutes, I just blew my entire account because I had no self-control and I wasn't living in reality. And many people have that experience, and to be honest, it might be an experience that everybody needs to have to grow. But the goal going forward is you have to use these ideas and these experiences as lessons going forward. If you keep doing them over and over and over again, there is no point to have those experiences. If you are not using your losses and your failures to your advantage, then you are not growing as a person, you are not growing as a trader. So always focus on building emotional control and always focus on using your failures as lessons. And number 5, focus and try your best to enjoy the journey. Trading is a very hard career path. Many people have tried it, many people have quit, many people have become successful. It is only up to you, nobody else, to become successful in this space. Being a trader takes an extreme level of accountability. You must be able to take accountability for every failure you have, every success that you have, everything that you do. You must take full accountability for them, or else you won't grow. Do not push your failures under the rug. Do not push your wins and, put yourself on a pedestal. Don't become egotistical. Being a trader takes an extreme level of self-growth as a person, emotionally, as a trader and a person. Trading is a game where you will always fall down. You have to be able to decide whether you want to get up or you want to stay on the ground. Many people come into the space and they cannot handle the level of stress, the level of failure that they have. Being a trader is being the best loser that you can possibly be, because in trading, you will always be a loser. The best traders in the world are the best losers. It is a part of the game. The more that you start to recognize this and you start to accept the fact that you will always be a loser in the way of a winner, you will start to become acceptance and acceptable of what you are doing, and it just becomes a lot more easier and less emotional, less anxiousness, because you're finally accepting the risk on the table, you're accepting the career that you have chosen, and the more time that you put into it, the easier it gets. The The last thing I want to say, and I want you guys to focus on, is focus on just gaining market experience. There's a lot of things that you cannot learn from a YouTube video, a book. People always ask me, Justin, what video should I watch? What books should I read? And my main advice is most of the time, none of them. The main things that you need to be watching is the market. I don't mean just taking random trades. I mean just watching the market, gaining experience with price action, gaining experience with how the market reacts in certain times. The more time that you have just watching the market and testing ideas, the more experience you will have under your belt and the easier it's going to be to read the market going forward. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, give a comment, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.